What's up, guys? This is episode 5 of the prep series, and today we're going to go ahead and talk about my current overall health and the implications it has on my decision on whether or not I'm going to start taking PEDs in the near future. Also going to talk about Turkesterone and my experience with it over the course of almost 2 months. Talk about whether or not Turkesterone is worth it because it is a very expensive supplement. And also wanted to mention that this outfit is with Young LA. I don't have a code. The reason I'm telling you that is because I get nothing out of mentioning that, and that's the whole point of this video in general. So I bought this outfit with code Patty, one of my buddies. Anyways, let's get into it. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, so me giving an unbiased review should carry a lot more value for you guys. Those of you new to the channel, I want to give you a brief introduction about myself. I've been lifting for 12 plus years, the entire time naturally. I've competed in 8 bodybuilding shows, all of them within the NPC, non-drug tested federation, and I've had a lot of success within competing for the last 5 plus years. And because I've competed so consistently over the last 5 years, I've dealt with a lot of issues with my testosterone levels. You know, they've been in the lower end for a lot of the time, and I have the receipts to prove it. So we will also talk about my blood work and how I've been crashing at certain points over the last few years. Also wanted to mention that this video is being recorded on an iPhone camera using just the iMovie application. So the technology is limited, but the video is in 4K and we're gonna do the very best we can with what we got. I'm going to invest in a brand new camera very, very soon. This video was inspired by More Plates, More Dates, Greg Doucette and Jesse James West. They have all covered some topics that are very relevant to me over the last couple weeks. And we'll start off first with More Plates, More Dates. More Plates, More Dates made a video very recently about a gentleman named Paul Sklar, who's a 50-year-old who claims he's natural. He was experiencing very low testosterone levels, and he's been able to raise them significantly naturally. And I'm gonna go ahead right now, I'm gonna play an audio clip that kind of depicts the information I'm about to talk about.
Total testosterone, adult male, 5.94 nanograms per milliliter. So we're looking at 594 nanograms per deciliter. So he is indeed almost double, over double what he had in last test. So February of 2020, it was 268. Now all of a sudden it's up to 591. So
pretty incredible if Paul Sklar is indeed natural, that he more than doubled his testosterone naturally at that age. So for myself, back in December of 2019, my testosterone levels were 222. When I had the 222 level testosterone, my body was very stressed out and I was just ending a long-term relationship that wasn't a good fit. So my stress levels were really, really high. The following year, about 13, 14 months later, in March of 2021, I got my levels checked again and I was at 257. My stress levels were also really high. I was living with a couple who had 2 babies and they would always cry throughout the night, so my sleep quality was really poor. What both of these tests had in common was my body fat percentage was extremely low. I was well within the single-digit body fat. I was just coming off of bodybuilding shows, so it makes perfect sense why my levels were pretty low, but that is dangerously low, well below the lower end of the normal for natural testosterone. Just like Paul Sklar, I'm claiming 100% lifetime natural. If you guys don't believe me, then do you even lift? No, I'm just playing, but for real, both of us claim the same thing. I've been able to increase it by 200 points, which for me is a huge deal. And I also feel a huge difference in how I feel physically. So now I'm well within the normal range and everything's going great. So since then, I have a lot of peace and quiet. I live by myself in a king size bed. So I'm able to sleep in a king size bed every single night. So my stress levels are much, much lower. And also I've been able to focus on some things that also will help optimize your natural testosterone levels, such as 5,000 IUs of vitamin D per day every single morning, and ashwagandha, which can presumably help with lowering your cortisol levels. And by the way, I take EvoBoost T by EVOGEN. It has vitamin D and ashwagandha, so if you guys are looking to find a pretty easy way to help optimize your testosterone the best you can naturally, those are 2 key components that can help optimize those levels. So use code Evogenelite to save and to support me, but that's just an easy way to get both of them in one supplement. With all that being said, remember that supplements don't matter if your diet is shit. So it's very important to focus on your diet first and foremost, supplements secondary. One thing I've been also improving on is increasing my healthy fats in my diet. In 2019 and 2020, I was having 6 ounces of steak per day. Now I'm having 12 ounces of top sirloin steak. So having some steak, having some healthy fats in your diet can also really help optimize your testosterone levels. So now I'm having double the amount of steak, 12 ounces every single day. My body really responds well to steak, and it's a healthy fat, so it's a good fit for me. Everybody's body is different, guys, so just remember that this is anecdotal evidence. This is an anecdotal experience, but it's an honest opinion, honest review of what I've been able to do to change to help boost my testosterone levels so much. Another obvious factor in keeping your testosterone levels high, or as high as they can be, is being at a healthier body fat percentage. Right now it's around 12%. 12% is still quite lean, so you can have a lower body fat percentage and still get the results you want and still have high energy as long as your diet is on point and you're putting food in your body and fuel in your body that will help you perform. So you can stay relatively lean and improve your testosterone levels. You can see that in my results here. Now let's talk about Turkesterone. I started taking Turkesterone almost 2 months ago now, but right before I even took anything, I made a couple of videos on it. You guys can refer back to my original video on YouTube about announcing that I was taking Turkesterone and how I thought about it going in. And I made a couple TikToks as well. I'm gonna go ahead and play one of the TikToks right now. I'm not worried about this video getting copywritten at all because at this point I have a small channel, so I'm not too worried about the monetization aspect of YouTube. I'm more focused on giving you guys a good video. Let's break down Turkesterone versus creatine financially. Turkesterone, $110 with an influencer discount with a hefty dosage that will last you 1 month. Creatine, $27 with a discount that will last you 2 months. Take this dosage of Turkesterone every day for a year and that's $1,320. Creatine is $162. Turkesterone, very limited research. Creatine has proven research with clear benefits for muscle growth and performance. So for the next month, you can call me the Turk Goblin. Despite all this, I'm doing a 1-month cycle of Turkesterone, only because it's an unbiased review. I don't have my hopes up, but I'm going into it with an open mind. As you guys can see from those clips, it is super expensive to take Turkesterone on a daily basis. I know that Greg Doucette takes 6 tablets a day, which is 3,000 milligrams. I personally am taking 4, which is a pretty healthy dose, but also it allows me to focus a little bit on not spending too much. But either way, it's quite expensive. You guys can see here, I have 2 empty bottles and I have 3 that I ordered. So it was effective enough in my experience that I ordered a few more and I'm already halfway through the 3rd bottle and it's been about 45 days. I'm gonna go ahead and play a clip by Jesse James West. It's like a 10-second clip and he briefly talks about his experience with Turkesterone.
Compare clip day 1 and day 30, you see. And I say, I don't know if there's a difference. Did I get stronger? Yes. Did I put on muscle? Who knows?
So that was a TikTok that Jesse James West made where someone was accusing him of being a sellout for selling Turkesterone. But as far as I'm concerned, when I saw the video, I felt like Jesse James West was being honest. And I agree with a lot of what he had to say about this. I also have increased my strength a little bit. It hasn't been super crazy, but it's definitely helped. And any little edge I can get at this point when I've been lifting for 12 plus years naturally, I'm gonna take it happily, especially when I'm financially able to afford Turkesterone on a regular basis. So I agree with him. My strength increased a little bit. For example, my dumbbells, I was dumbbell pressing 90 pounds with good time under tension for about 5 repetitions. And after taking Turkesterone for almost 2 months now, my rep range is about 7 to 8 reps. But mind you, I'm also losing weight. So I started Turkesterone at around 230 pounds at my peak bulk, and now I've lost 8 pounds. I'm around 222 pounds right now. I felt like my recovery was a little bit better, which is very encouraging when you're on a cut. It's very hard to get stronger while you're losing weight. So I'm not saying that that's gonna work for everyone. In my experience, my body has responded well to Turkesterone. One thing I will say is if you're a teenager and you're asking if you should buy Turkesterone, I don't think you should, because it's really expensive and there's so many other ways you can build your strength, get your gains naturally, especially early on in lifting. Greg Doucette does a great job of explaining this, and I couldn't agree more. So I'm gonna go ahead and play Greg Doucette's clip.
But does that mean you should take it? No. If you can't afford it, if you don't have a lot of money, and if 4% difference doesn't matter, or 1%, then who cares? Don't take it. Don't use it. If you're a newbie to the gym, you just joined the gym, you're going to make gains anyway. You don't need it. If you're a teenager, as in every supplement, you don't need to take it. Don't take it. You're a teenager, 17, 18, 19 years, you're going to make gains regardless. Save it for when you're older. My opinion is anything that can improve your performance by 1% is amazing. Mind-blowing. Yeah, steroids can help your performance by probably 10, 15%. But 1% natural? It's mind-blowing. Think of it. If you're taking creatine, beta-alanine, caffeine, turkesterone, and each of those improves your performance by 1%, that's 4%. That is a crazy difference. 4% is mind-blowing. The difference between amazing and pretty good.
I completely agree with Greg Doucette on this. Like, if you're not an experienced lifter or you're not that serious, turkesterone is not worth it, because a cycle of turkesterone is more expensive than some steroid cycles. So if you're not serious, you know, that 1% or 2% or whatever boost that gives you is just not worth it for how much it costs. So in the beginning of this video, I talked about how my blood work and my current health has a lot to do with whether or not I'm going to start taking PEDs in the near future. So I wanted to also address that and some of the health complications potentially that I could be going through based off my blood work. So my overall blood work has been pretty healthy, but there's one area of concern, and that's my BUN and creatinine levels. In December of 2019, my BUN level was 36, which is really high. The reference range is 6 to 20. That's the normal range, and that's quite high. And that's very concerning because I'm a natural lifter, and that means my liver and kidneys are not functioning as well as they should. I was able to lower that a little bit, and now my levels are around 32, which is still well above the reference range that you should be at, but at least it's on the downward trend. And a couple supplements I've been doing to help with that is kidney support and alpha lipoic acid. The kidney support, pretty self-explanatory, is going to help with your kidneys, and the alpha lipoic acid is for supporting your liver health. So I've been taking those in the morning for supplementation, and my BUN creatinine levels, as far as the ratio, is now 27. So that aspect of my health has improved a little bit, but the fact that I'm natural and I'm already having a little bit of a concern regarding my liver health is enough to tell me that it's not worth me risking my health, especially if I'm not super gung-ho on being an IFBB pro bodybuilder. My motivation comes with inspiring others as to what's achievable naturally and trying to give you guys a good example of someone who works hard with their diet and their health. So my health is number one, and that's important to me, and the fact that I already have a slight concern and disposition with my liver and kidney health without taking any PEDs is already enough concern. Another way I've been also keeping an eye on my creatinine levels is I've also focused on staying hydrated, because oftentimes when you have elevated levels, it's because you're dehydrated. Your body needs to feel well hydrated to allow everything to function at an optimal rate. And also, some pre-workouts already have creatine in it. For example, the EVP3D, which is the pre-workout I take, you guys can go ahead and use the discount code and to support me. But it already has 1.25 grams of creatine per scoop. So if I was to take a hefty dose of pre-workout, maybe even up to 2 scoops, I'm already getting half of my daily amount that I need. And not only that, but my diet has plenty of creatine as well. A lot of your chicken breast and steak have creatine in it. So you can get your creatine simply from your pre-workout if the pre-workout is a high quality pre-workout, or from your food. And I'm having plenty of meat in my diet, I can already hit my creatine levels without taking a creatine supplement. If you're also adding a 5-gram dose of creatine from a supplement, now you're having too much creatine, and that can definitely increase your BUN or creatinine levels. One of the questions I get asked almost every single day is whether or not I'm gonna take PEDs in the future. And I'm not gonna say never, but in my 40s, if my testosterone levels are crashing, let's say it's year 2030 or 2035 and I'm in my early 40s and my test levels are crashing and it's below the normal range, then absolutely a possibility. In fact, it would be unhealthy to not hop on any testosterone replacement therapy. I just felt like making this video was important because a lot of people make the claim that once you hit 30 years old, your testosterone levels will just automatically decline. But with proper diet, proper exercise, taking care of your body, you can reverse a lot of these issues that you may have as a 30-year-old having low testosterone levels, but then being able to raise them up naturally through good lifestyle changes and good lifestyle habits, and being mindful of what your blood work is like has helped me out tremendously. And it's been very encouraging for myself to stay on the path of being natural and to also inspire others as to what is achievable naturally. It's starting to get later in the evening and the daylight is limited, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I have a new YouTube video every single week, almost halfway through the prep at this point, 8 weeks out from my show. At this point, I'm feeling really good about my prep and very encouraged with the improved blood work that I've been able to see through consistent testing. I can't stress it enough, whether you're natural or not, it's very important to get your blood work done. Obviously, if you're enhanced, you should be taking much more serious precautions on your blood work, but even as a natural, 1 to 2 times a year, I definitely recommend you go and get your blood work done. You can only help yourself that much more. You'll know exactly where you stand, and it's a good indicator as to what type of health progress you're making in your everyday life. Until next time, peace!